Okay, all right. Sorry about that, guys. I had to start this over again because I was not sharing my screen before. Okay, so today, all right, let me back up. Welcome everyone to the Office 365 Tips and Tricks webinar for the month of August, brought to you by the Marks Group. My name is Megan Hagedorn, and today we're going to talk about the following 3 topics. First, we're going to talk about conditional formatting in Excel, how I've been using it recently, and a couple of different options you have there. Then we're going to talk about the upper, lower, and proper functions in Excel, sneak preview right here. And then finally, we're going to talk about showing or hiding, really managing your visibility of your teams in Microsoft Teams. Sorry, just to be clear, the visibility of your teams in Microsoft Teams, not your contact visibility. But yes, we'll talk about that at the end as well. So let's get to it. So first of all, I do have a conditional formatting rule here just because we just had one that we created, but we're going to do this over again. So let's just say you have a table here. I just recently used this for like a big data import I was doing where just sorting by blank cells wasn't cutting it for me. I needed to have them highlighted to me, but intermingled with non-blank cells. So I didn't realize that conditional formatting could actually just highlight blank cells. I should have. It was not something I've ever tried to do before. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to highlight the cells that I want this rule to apply to. And then I'm going to click New Rule. And you have a bunch of options here, but today I'm just going to pick Format only cells that contain. And then in this first dropdown, we're going to say blanks. That's going to highlight only cells with blanks. You can have it set to any of these other things, which would be equally very useful. So don't forget to also set the fill here so you can actually tell what cells have been highlighted. And then when you click OK, you'll see that the blank cells have been highlighted in our table. So really helpful. I definitely encourage you to check out all of the different options that you have in conditional formatting. You can set up all sorts of rules. It's so open-ended, so you can really tailor it to most needs that you might have. So definitely encourage you to check that out. So moving on to the upper, proper, and lower functions in Excel. In case you can't tell, these functions deal with the capitalization of letters in words. So in this first cell here, I've got the upper function going, and that's going to make all of the characters in that cell uppercase. This, as you can guess, is lower, and that's going to make all these characters lowercase. Finally, this is the proper function. This has been particularly useful for me, especially in columns such as like a full name column where you've got first, middle, last, that kind of a thing, and you want it to capitalize each word in that cell. So that's what the proper function does. Really helpful. And if you do any of these, don't forget to highlight your work and then copy and paste as values to get rid of this function in the background so you can actually edit the text and or do an import, whatever you need to do. Okay, so moving on to Microsoft Teams. Right now I have all of my teams shown. In the past, I'm gonna hide them just to show what this looks like. So in the past, Microsoft Teams had your teams organized by favorites and then just not favorited teams. And any teams that were not favorited were collapsed by default like this. They have since renamed this to just shown and hidden teams. So by default, I don't know if you have any teams shown by default. So go ahead and go in here, expand your hidden teams, click the dot, 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 and then click show for any teams that you just want to permanently show in your list. That's just going to set the visibility. You can always go back and hide them. And then they'll be in that hidden teams section that you can expand and collapse at will. But this is going to prevent teams from automatically collapsing or hiding any of these teams. So these will just be kind of pinned here, accessible all the time. Not that hidden teams are still accessible. I didn't want to be misleading there. Just you don't have to expand this tab, for shown teams. So that is how you can show and hide teams in Microsoft Teams. So these were 3 really quick tips. So I'm just going to quickly summarize them all again one more time. So first, we talked about that conditional formatting. So in my case, I needed it to highlight any blank cells in my column, but you can have it do so much more, So please check out the different rules that you can create. It's so open-ended here. Even just using the same rule that I used, but using a different criteria in the rule, you can do so much. So definitely recommend looking to conditional formatting if you're doing any sort of data normalization or working with any sort of table or data work in Excel. Highly recommend. Next, we talked about the upper, proper, and lower functions in Excel. They all deal with capitalization. The upper function capitalizes every letter in a word. The lower function lowercases every letter in a word, and the proper function capitalizes only the first letter in each word in a cell. Finally, we talked quickly about Microsoft Teams and how you can show or hide teams just by clicking on Teams, this category here, and then the dot, 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 and either hiding or showing teams as needed. Hidden teams will be in this little collapsed area, so if you need to show any hidden teams, you can expand that and then just click show for any hidden teams. There we go. So I hope this was helpful for you. I know we kind of blasted through these quick tips. If you have any questions or anything at all, or use case scenarios, feel free to leave a comment, or on the blog posts, they also have step-by-step instructions for all of these things. Feel free to also email me at megan@marksgroup.net, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. So I hope this was helpful once again, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much.